This is in response to Billy's Talking Points memo from Thursday, May 14th, 2015. President Obama, poverty, President Obama, and Fox News. Billy doesn't want to hear anything bad ever said about Fox News. So he's coming at it. He wants to hit a home run here. So President Obama the other day clearly indicated when he spoke that if you pay a lot of attention to Fox News, you certainly do get the impression that poor people are lazy, they're apathetic, no drive, no ambition, very poor personal habits, very poor personal behavior, that children have bad parenting, etc. So he blames it, all on them, so to speak. Them. And that's what Fox News does day in and day out. Really, it's painful to watch, painful to hear some of the things that come out of these people's mouths. And when I watch it, whether I watch it live, because I do watch some segments live, or whether I watch it like I watch Billy the next day, or I watch other things, the question is, where is he coming from when he indicates that Fox News doesn't do this kind of stuff at all? So President Obama makes a statement. Billy says that's all the dishonest press needed to go run with it. He brings up a gentleman who writes for the New York Times. I really like this man, Charles Blow. Charles Blow indicated that and repeated some of Billy's words in terms of people having addictive behavior, in terms of being lazy, in terms of being apathetic, and that's blamed on personal behavior of the poor. And of course, Billy then takes a segment and replays the segment when he actually has those statements in it. In a greater context, he blames it on poor personal habits, bad parenting. But again, the implication is that the poor are at fault. It's their fault day in and day out. And what I like to say is that there's a whole host of things that are going on in here. Inherent racism, discrimination for long periods of time, redlining, no minimum wage, wages being stolen, growing up in poverty is very difficult, not having enough to eat is very difficult. So there's just a tremendous number of factors that go into play. But Billy does not want to hear a single word of that. It's all poor parenting, poor personal habits, and of course, Charles Blow, who got that information, Billy claims he got it from those smear merchants, Media Matters. And all Media Matters does is take exactly what Billy says. They will show the entire segment of what Billy is talking about, and then they will make comments on it. And of course, Billy doesn't like to be held accountable like that, so he has to call them smear merchants. But again, remember, all Media Matters does is take exactly what Billy says, put it in the whole segment that he put it in, and then they make comments on it. And he hates that. All right, so he's going after Blow as being an extremely dishonest person. But again, my point is that President Obama was right. Fox News does not want to help the poor. They want to denigrate the poor. They want to blame everything on the poor, that anyone can get out of poverty if they just really wanted it. Remember, Billy grew up in a middle-class household, but he likes to let you think that he really was not middle-class, but he was definitely middle-class. And that all of the black statistics that Billy threw out there in terms of poverty, in terms of growing up poor, staying poor, being incarcerated, all of this type of stuff, are those statistics that are true? Of course they're true. Does that mean that you're going to blame every single thing on them when we've had inherent racism day in and day out in this country for hundreds of years? What is the real solution to this whole thing? Now, Billy doesn't want to go into any of that. He just wants to clear Fox's name and indicate that not only is it the poor's fault, because now that poverty has continued to increase under the Obama administration, it's Obama's fault. So basically, Billy doesn't want to hear anything that's said about Fox News that's denigrating to Fox News, when at the same time they're doing the exact same thing that the president just talked about. And of course, the poor are only poor because of bad personal habits, because they're lazy, they're apathetic, no drive, no ambition, addictive behavior, all of this stuff. So he wants to, and had nothing about what has gone on, since we first brought slaves to the United States. And, I always like to say, I know that there are always some people who can get out of poverty. And in many instances, I've met a few black people who claim that they grew up in abject poverty and got out of it. And in some instances, some of them have disdain for the people who stayed there and cannot get out. In other instances, they have quite clearly indicated that it is a rough life, and they are very, very fortunate that they had the means and the capability to see through all of that and to work their way out of that. But that doesn't happen to everyone, and for everyone, and as smart as some people may be, this is where you grew up, this is where your life is, this is what you know. There has to be a wholesale change in how we deal with this, and of course Fox News is not helping. They're not helping, even remotely close to helping.